Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glass City Podcast here at the CMB Production Studios with me, your host, Cowboy Mark. Guess what? We've got an awesome band live with us today. We have got IMO, in my opinion, and they're going to kick it off with something a little special. Here you go, folks.
There's blue skies all around me, and the world looks just the same. It's hard to be a criminal when they all know my name. Sometimes I wonder if sometimes I want to be free. Well, you can be king of me, and I'll be the queen. There's blue skies all around me, and the world looks just the same. It's hard to be a criminal when they all know my name. Sometimes I wonder if sometimes I want to be free. Well, you can be king of me, but I'll be the queen.
And there you are, ladies and gentlemen. IMO, in my opinion, with that live song. Now, that was Back to the River?
Yes.
Who is the artist on that one?
That is a band called The Pretty Reckless.
Pretty Reckless.
It's an awesome chick rock band.
Chick rock.
It is.
But the guitarist on that was from the Allman Brothers.
Yes, Warren Haynes.
Yeah. That'll
yes.
work. That'll work.
Government Mule.
Hey,
The great
yeah.
Government Mule.
Yeah.
All right. So, we have with us today Steve, Aaron, Matt, or Matthew? Which we prefer?
Either way.
Either way.
I'll take it.
And tucked over here in the corner where you can't see him,
famous.
There's Phil. Phil, why don't you go grab that other chair so we can get you up a little bit higher and everybody can
Might
see
take
you.
more than that.
It might take more than that. We
Bigger was that?
just remember we do try to keep this PGR.
Did you say PBR?
PBR.
there you
No,
go.
that's
He hears
old
PBR when
school.
he hears anything.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, with us sitting today is In My Opinion. So why don't we start with Phil, since he's got that mutton chop thing going on.
I'm working on it.
Which back road did you come from? I mean, no, I'm kidding. Actually, I may not be. You never know. That's why we do the show the way we
Where's
do it.
that banjo?
Yeah.
Rich, the banjo's out in the other room. We can grab that if he wants to play. Not a big deal. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe how you met the rest of the group and how this thing got going?
Playing around in bands in Toledo, and I played with Matt and I played with Steve years ago in different bands, various bands over the years, and that's where I met each of them, playing in different bands.
How long you been doing this?
I've been playing drums for about 35 years.
35 years.
He's old.
So you're 36.
I'm sorry?
You're 36 then, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's,
Going on 37.
going on 37. You see, that's what we like to hear. The younger artists out here in the city of Toledo. Yeah. What got you started in music? What was your
Oh,
inspiration?
I played in band in school, like elementary school and junior high and high school. I played in band. I went to Bedford and
The
played in
Mules.
their- yes, played in their programs. Marching band. I played the kit and jazz band, pep band, everything. The symphonic band, and did that pretty much my whole life growing up.
So music is just what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That we like to hear that. Matthew, tell us a
sir.
little bit about yourself and
Well, I went to Ida.
Ida. Carl's
yeah.
Hideaway.
Exactly.
Where's Melanie, Andrew?
We're not getting paid for any of these plugs, but
So I met Phil. I went to Ida. I knew.
You played with some guys in high school
I
that
did.
I played with, but at different times.
Right. Yeah. I managed to meet some guys that went to Bedford before I met Phil, and actually we did some gigs for my school and their school. I ended up playing my own high school homecoming dance, which was kind of weird. And
So you were a guest as well as an entertainer.
I was the whole deal. a lot of hate mail coming
Well, when you're-
for all the guys, who did the marching band thing.
When you're a musician,
you
you
know.
don't usually have a date to the prom.
Yeah, I went to
Might as well
5
pay to
proms.
get to
One
first
time
place.
at band camp.
Oh, here we go. More references that I'm familiar with.
But I've just been playing a long time as well, about 39 years, and
So you're just a little bit older than Phil then.
just a little bit. I'll give.
I'm the youngest one.
Steve's the
Yeah,
oldest
okay.
statesman.
There may be a debate later on with that.
I feel the youngest.
Okay, well that's
He
all.
acts the youngest too.
Dad, I can believe. Just the short time that I've been working with him
His
here.
wife can verify that.
His wife can verify. So, and what got you inspired? I mean, what was maybe your...
It's kind of weird because I did not come from a musical family, but I just sat in my room for days on end with the radio. I remember 104 would come out with this annual thing for New Year's. You guys remember that? All day and night they play like the top 100 or
Oh, yeah.
remember that?
Back in the
Yep.
day.
And
Yeah.
I'd record that from beginning to end, and I'd just sit there and learn as many songs as possible. And by the time I was 14, I was getting paid to play.
Nice.
So it was pretty sweet. I'm glad I held on to it.
And
These
so are
days,
we.
It's like my big stress reliever. I have fun with these guys, and it's good to play with a group of friends.
Awesome,
So, yeah.
awesome. Miss Erin,
Yes,
the
sir.
only female of the group.
Yes.
You're outnumbered 3-1.
No, my vote counts way more than their 3.
I was wondering if that's actually how that worked, but I wasn't going to bring it up yet. But
Whatever she says, we do.
Well, her vote is, my vote belongs to her.
well, we'll get into that portion of it a little bit later. That was. I was going to bring that up, as a matter of fact, Steve.
True.
Where the pants are truly worn within the band. We'll just put it like
I brought
that.
my big girl
You brought your big girl pants?
Yeah.
So you have a hula
Great.
skirt.
Those are not whole pants.
No, it's 110 down here. I mean, come on. We're in a studio with lights and everything else going on. So a little bit about you, Miss Erin.
So I was born and raised in Adrian, Michigan, and I grew up in a very strict Pentecostal family.
Whoa.
So for a long, long time, the only thing I was allowed to listen to was Christian music, right? And that's kind of where I got my inspiration originally. Amy Grant was my girl, Sandy Patty. And then as I got older and my parents kind of lightened up on the rules a little bit, it was Whitney and Selena. And just like, my sisters would get so mad because I would listen to Whitney Houston like over and over. I mean, I would run through the tapes and I'd have to go buy a new one.
Because you wore it out.
I wore it out, yes. That Bette Midler, you know, just all the old school divas, you know, of music was what.
Well, if you're going to throw old school like that, what about Reba McEntire on
You
the
know what?
country scene?
You know what? I didn't listen to country until
Oh,
I was in my
wow.
20s. I listened to, you know.
So a few years ago. So this
Yeah.
is country's new to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. But when I turned 21, I decided I wanted to be a DJ, and it was an exposure to music I had never got to listen to before. And then, you know, that comes in, you know, like all these other, you know, I wasn't allowed to listen to Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, or Stevie Nicks, none of that when I was younger. So I feel like at 43, I just told my age.
Well, that's not my fault then.
I'm just now coming into some of these songs that all of these other female vocalists around town have grown up with, you know, and it's kind of cool, you know. It's like Linda Ronstadt. Oh my gosh, like I absolutely love her. I love her vocals. I mean, she's just one of those people that, you know, when you listen to her, it's like you can't help but love her voice. You know?
Now, who would you say would be your biggest inspiration on the female side of things for vocalists? The one that really captured your attention, said, I want to be like that?
Whitney.
Whitney.
Hands down, Whitney. Yep.
She's got one heck of a range.
Yeah. You know, Mariah Carey came out when I was in high school too,
Yeah.
you know, and I listened to her. I liked, nobody can do her.
Right.
So there ain't no point in trying.
A few people have done her.
So, growing up in that kind of atmosphere, what got you inspired to do the music then? Being that you were limited to begin with.
Because my parents put me and my sisters on stage from the time I was little at the church.
Oh, okay.
And we had a big church congregation, you know, and so it was me and we were the Johns girls, me and my three sisters.
Okay.
Everybody knew us, everybody knew our family. So we would get up and we would sing stuff at church. You know, my parents both were very active in the church.
Okay.
And so it was just one of those things that I got the bug, you know, like just at a young age. And I didn't realize, you know, in my earlier years that that's what I wanted to do until I really hit my teens. And, you know, it was all downhill from there.
Downhill.
Yeah.
Now, you
Or
strict.
uphill, I should say. It was an
I
uphill
was going
battle.
to say, hey, you know, now, are you
Downhill.
strictly a vocalist, or do you play guitar? Do you are you
so-
kind of expanding that knowledge that you have? No,
I-
the big side.
Anybody that asks me, I don't know jack about music theory. I growing up, my parents gave us, you know, the opportunity to have piano lessons. There was not something that was carried over. You know,
Okay.
I played in junior high band and stuff like that, but I just knew I wanted to sing.
Okay.
About, 7 years ago, I decided I was going to try and play the guitar. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen?
Didn't happen. I didn't want it bad enough, I don't think.
Well, I guess you got to have that passion.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, with playing
Or
an
you have to
instrument.
have no dates.
Or you have to have, like, literally no fingernails.
That might pose a problem at some point. And how did you meet these guys? How did this history
So-
come
That's a
together?
good story.
It's a good story. That's
So-
why we're here.
I moved down to Toledo in 2009. I had answered an ad on on Craigslist, and it was a band called Landslide.
Okay.
There was Matt Schmidt, Troy Hall, and then Bob Davenport. And I auditioned for them, and that was, you know, my first band down here in Toledo. This one over here to my left, we didn't
bald
have
guy.
we didn't have a bass player at the time. So when we brought him in. That's how I met him. And we ended up playing a couple shows out, and then it just kind of fizzled out. So it didn't really
didn't really amount to a whole lot with
Right.
the group that we had. So then, a few years down the road, I decided I was going to start my own band. My biggest thing was I didn't want to be told what to sing. As a female, a lot of bands cover a lot of male classic rocks and
Yes.
things like that. And sometimes it's hard as a woman front singer to adapt to that because it's just not always possible to, replicate a song or even cover a song and give it justice
Right.
when you don't have the right vocal range. So I decided to start Plain Jane, which was basically what I wanted to sing, the female singers that no one else covers, or not nobody else, but a lot of songs that nobody else covered.
The hidden classics.
Right, and pay tribute to all these great female vocalists. That's what I wanted my band built around. He was with me at that time, and then enter Matt.
Okay.
Matt was like our third or fourth guitar player.
Steve
because
has a
it-
tendency to drive people off.
Well, Steve's the reason the band didn't work. No. No, it was just, so Matt came in. We had already regrouped a few times, just trying to get it off the ground.
Right.
And then we played out a show up at, was it the ranch or the long?
Lewis
Up
Avenue
on
Ranch
Lewis.
House?
The ranch house, yeah. We
Yeah.
played a benefit up
Yeah,
there.
we did a benefit.
And it went great.
Yeah.
And so, but then he got moved to a different shift at work and ended up
Yep.
having to quit. So we decided, well, we're not gonna start all over. So I kind of took a hiatus for a long time, and
Okay.
then 3 years ago is when I met this one. Him and another bass player put an ad out on Facebook or on on Craigslist, and I answered that, and in my opinion was born.
Oh, wow.
Phil and I are the original two members
Two of the
the
original members.
Two of the
four.
originals. Okay.
And then 3 years ago, yep. 3 years ago, August 17th.
August 17th.
First time we got together, and Phil and I have been at it since, and we brought these guys in a year ago last week.
Trying to teach them.
Nice.
Bring them along.
Try and teach him. Bring him. Good luck with
The
that
IMO
one.
way. The IMO way,
The
right?
IMO way.
The Aaron and Phil way.
Well, it sounds to me like it's more of the Aaron way or the highway.
No, it's really not like that.
No, it's not like that.
It's not really like
no,
that.
okay.
I'm okay.
It sounds good for an interview, you know. So, well, it sounds like you've been able to develop who you are through music
Yeah,
over these
for
years,
sure.
and that's what people want to see.
Right.
People, when
Well-
they come out to see you play, they want that.
Right.
They
and-
want you. They don't want, if they want the cover band or the original, they're going to go see them.
Right, right.
Where you guys do
Well,
how you do what.
And that's one of the things too, because before I moved down to Toledo in 2009, I had 3 other bands in Michigan, and they were fun, but they just weren't to the caliber
Right.
that these guys have gotten us. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's my most successful band, and just we were talking last week, just in the last calendar year, we've played an average of every other weekend, and just like
Very good.
just in the local Toledo area. You know what I mean? And it's just it's kind of nice that people are like, hey, they're following us. They're coming out to see us. We've got our regulars that go no matter what bar we go
Yep.
to. They're there, and it's awesome.
That's
very
and
humbling.
That's what all the hard work's for.
Yeah.
All the practicing, all
Yes.
the learning, and everything
Exactly.
else. So now we've got the last gentleman here over my shoulder, Steve,
The notorious STEVE.
the notorious Steve. Steve, now I've known for a great many years, and have worked. Actually, we worked on a couple projects together.
I want to say it's going on 20 years.
Almost 20 years, I think. Now we're talking about our age, because we weren't spring chickens when we met. So,
You're at least 30.
yeah, I'll give you that. So, why don't you tell everybody else what I already know about you, and maybe a few things I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
What's there to say?
Tell everybody.
He was a troublemaker growing up.
As far as
Tell them everything you know about him.
no.
I don't want to know everything.
You probably
No,
don't.
no,
You probably
I'll
don't.
give you.
no. In all fairness, though, musically, I've always been into music since I was a little kid. That was my thing, a thing I loved. I came from kind of a musical family. My uncle was a very prominent drummer around here, Ozzie Buckland. He played in Johnny and the Hurricanes
Yep.
and numerous bands throughout the 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. then I also, let's see, I want to say I was maybe 6 when I got my first guitar. Started to learn a little bit. Then I come from, we kind of came from the same background church-wise, or similar, but I started playing in church when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I believe. I started playing drums. And so I was a kind of a drummer first, really.
Okay.
And from there, I went to bass, and I had played piano, organ.
Yep.
Kind of done. I played everything horribly. I'll put it that way. And,
Until recently.
yeah, now I just play one or two things horribly. But so yeah, that's kind of where I come from. And then in my teenage years, I kind of got away from music. It was more fun just to be a troublemaker. And, all my friends became like, I can name a bunch of people I know that became very accomplished musicians. People that I grew up with and from teenage years, who I still talk to. And actually, most of them, or a lot of them, not all of them, about half of them, don't really play much anymore. But they're very great musicians.
Which is a shame. That's the talent
Yeah.
that we need out there, to keep everybody
Yeah.
competitive in a fun way. Oh, they're
Exactly.
doing that. Well, we can do one like that, type deal. And that's,
Competing.
yeah, it's a
Friendly
competition.
competition.
Exactly. It's not a competition to where I don't feel you have to compete to be able to play. There's plenty of places to play.
Right.
You can compete and make that person stronger.
Exactly.
And they compete and make you stronger.
And then when we have the bigger shows where there's a bunch of you together, that just makes that particular event
Right.
much better because you're going to feed not only off each other amongst yourselves, but maybe the previous band and say, "Oh wow, did you hear what they did?"
Yeah.
And go forward. So,
I'm doing that next
I was
time.
gonna say.
I've done that many times.
I think
and there's
we've done
nothing
that.
wrong with
I
it.
go out and watch
Like,
it.
oh my gosh, we can.
Yeah.
do
And I
that.
see it. Oh, that was a cool Phil. I should do that.
Well,
I'm stealing that.
Did you see that, Phil?
Yeah. I'm
Did
stealing
you-
that.
right?
I'm doing it, and I do it now.
Over the years, I've learned a few things from Steve, being a bass player myself. We go back and
Sorry,
forth.
man.
The difference is, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, Steve is a phenomenal pocket player. You put him where he needs to be,
Yes.
he will not vary. He's not going to mess you up.
No.
I, on the other hand, am more of a freestyle player. I will make it up as I go along.
Right.
I need to get from this note to this note. Well, how many notes can I throw in there? I'm almost as bad as a guitar player doing a lead.
As a drummer, I'm in the pocket with him.
Right.
That's
You
what we do.
and that's what I really admire about his dedication to that side of the
Stay the
technical.
course.
Yes,
Stay the course.
Stay the course. And during practice, I've been known to go off into my own little tangent. I don't
Your
do
own
it.
course.
Well, for myself, most of the bands I've played with over the years have been three-piece power trios.
Yeah.
So when the lead guitar player went into a lead,
Yeah.
well, guess who was stuck in the background trying to keep that rhythm? Myself and the drummer. Sometimes
Come
it
on,
works.
Jack
and-
Bruce, come out.
Right. Yes, very much so. So with you, I know that some of the different bands over the years you've played in, how, other than through Aaron, how did we get...
Oh, it's kind of a funny story.
Here we go with the funny again.
All right.
Here we go.
It's always funny.
I got a
Funny guy.
well, I'll make the short version because I could spend 2 hours on that.
We really could.
The weird part I was thinking about the other day, I met all these guys in different situations within inside a few months.
Oh, wow.
I met Matt first from a Craigslist ad, Phil.
He needed a date to
Jason
prom.
He needed the date for the prom.
through another Craigslist ad, and right around the same time, actually met her at Krieger's.
I'll call you.
Oh.
So, and I played with Matt some, and Matt was trying to put a project together, and I was talking to these guys too, and they already kind of had things going. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do that,
Mhm.
Which, oddly enough, I guess it was probably a year or so later, Matt wound up back in that project, and Matt and Phil had played. Yeah, I could go
Everything
on,
just kind of worked
6
out.
degrees
I'd have to,
of
I'd have to
separation,
write a family treaty.
It's a weird family tree. The branches intertwine.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool when you play with
But it's a
friends
small
and
town.
keep those relationships going.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Phil has saved my butt. Like, if I had something big going and had no band, he saved me there. Because like fair stuff and different
Right.
things like that. It's like, well, and even Steve, like we have these radio contests and stuff like that. That's all based on your songwriting.
Right.
but you might not necessarily have a band to back you up. And these guys have saved
He'd
me there.
come in and-
I mean,
and
Red
filled
Light
in.
Boom, and we opened
All
for
that.
Phil Vassar at the fair.
so I mean, it's just been cool. I'm grateful to have good friends that play and excellent players. So
Well, and on that same note, a year ago we were in a spot,
We get that on film.
and
we did.
Matt came in to IMO a year ago, with maybe a couple weeks of preparation
Oh, wow.
before our next
we-
show. Like we had a rough patch, and
Matt and Steve both.
Matt. Well,
Just
yeah,
one-
Matt came
one
in
week.
first. Matt came in first, and he was playing with us within a matter of a couple weeks. Then we had another issue going on, so then he came in, and within like from
1 week.
that Saturday to the
1 week.
following Saturday, both of these guys jumped up on stage, and within a week, and they've been with us, and they saved our butts because
Yeah.
we had shows booked,
And no backing
and,
band.
right?
the
There was
remaining
just
band.
Phil and I left,
Yeah, and we couldn't do that by
and
ourselves.
no, and so
I mean,
we
it
have.
would suck.
Yeah.
It would have been more difficult. I don't know
I've
if it
never
would've
played acoustic
sucked.
with just a drum kit, you know.
Where's the melody?
Like, where's my key?
I can't do harmonies.
What keys at?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's. I mean, and that's one of the things I think about the Toledo music scene that I've noticed just since I've been here in 10 years. Is that there's so many local musicians that are out there supporting the other
Yes.
ones.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's
It's a
such
great
a
town. It
yeah,
is
you know. I mean,
great.
we got 3 or 4 people on speed dial for each thing. Hey,
Mm.
you know, and people show up. You know, last night we were without a,
Right.
Last night.
Last
we were
night.
without a sound guy last minute because he broke his foot.
Oh,
We were on the, like, and Gina from Noisy Neighbors call me. She helped us out. Vic
Got us a-
from one of his other bands came in and ran sound
Yeah.
for us. I mean, and that's what I love about the Toledo music scene is that it just everybody. I mean,
Everybody
you have your
bonds together.
exception. You have your exceptions, you know, but for the most part, the Toledo music scene is just like this big family.
Yes.
and
It's a great
that
town.
is
Yeah.
the whole
Great scene.
purpose of why we're doing this podcast. Because we as musicians know what's going on,
Right.
Right.
but guess who doesn't?
Everybody else.
The public.
Right.
The public is unaware of everything that you guys do. They may show up at a show, they know a band's playing, but they don't know really
What
the
goes
behind.
into it.
Right.
Right.
And that's why we put this show together, is to bring that aspect to the public so they can go, wow. You know, there's that wow factor when you guys get up there and play, and you're killing it out
That's
there.
the easy part.
That's
Exactly.
the only part they see.
Right.
Coming here, we can talk about it, you know, and we all know it's not just hours, it's sometimes days and weeks and even months to put together a show that you want to present to, you know, the people that are coming out to see you.
Right.
And was my inspiration. This, again, I've mentioned before, this show was in the air 6 years ago. I talked about doing this 6 years ago.
I think I remember some of them conversations myself, actually.
Yep,
Yeah.
and finally, a good friend of mine, Scratchman Drew, who's got his own channel, which is another form of entertainment. Scratch off tickets, it's really cool. We did a live feed here yesterday. I'm sorry, it was Friday. It was Friday night.
I watched it yesterday.
Yeah, and he did his thing, and then we did an interview with him. And it's the entertainment side,
Right.
you know, that I want to bring to the public. I'm hoping to get other people in here from different genres of music and stuff like that. And I want to thank you guys for coming in this hot little cubicle we're working in that I call CMB Production Studios. We will get bigger with help. I've got outside help that we're gonna make this thing bigger for you guys, and hopefully in the future we'll have you back. Put Phil actually on the drum kit that's over here in the other room. Yeah, we'll try to get a video of that before we head out and let you guys see why he's shaking his head. The drummer that that I'm in the band with, well, Neil Peart is his idol.
Mine too.
Hence the kit that takes up 3/4 of the room.
But he only plays like 4 of those.
No,
The rest is just-
Ed uses every square inch, every piece
That's
of
awesome.
brass, every drum.
Yep. That's great. As I started gigging more, I downsized.
I want him
I just
to.
don't want to carry all that.
Exactly.
That's where the
Exactly.
work comes in, as opposed to actually playing the
Right.
music.
Yes. So, where are you guys heading to? What's coming up next? What's in the pipeline here for
So
IMO.
this year or this next weekend is the Big Toledo Jeep Fest.
Yep.
So they've got a lot of stuff going on with that. There's a new bar in town, been open 4 months now. It's called Wheelin' on the Rocks on Lasky,
Great
and
bar.
they are doing a whole weekend of music. Like Friday night, you've got JT Hayden's band playing there.
Okay.
On Saturday, they got a DJ, Josh Boyd, and then we're playing from 9 to 1 Saturday night. For the Big Jeep Fest after party and stuff.
Okay.
So we've got that coming up, and then we'll be at the Anchor Inn on August 31st.
Okay. Now make sure you guys again get all this information to me,
Yep.
so I can put it on. We're changing the format. Originally, Sundays was an interview maybe, and I would do my updates. Now we're going to strictly do the interviews and the show with the guests. Mondays I'll do the updates, what's going on for the week. Wednesday do a midweek, and maybe even have to throw in a Friday show now because we are getting busy.
That's awesome.
Thanks
though.
to you guys. No, I thank you guys because it's because of every one of you and our other viewers that are getting this information to me, and we're getting the calls. And so even if there's a time that one of you want to just step in on your own or whatever,
Yeah.
let me know, and we're going to keep going with this.
Well,
Now,
we'll have 3 or 4 bands in here, and you'll see the same thing.
I'm okay with that.
Have
We'll be
three or
lined
four- oh
No.
wait, this is Rockwood. Oh, that's just those 3.
That's it.
Oh, but we
Right.
got married with children, so we got to bring a couple more. Oh wait,
Yeah,
weren't you just
some
in that
of us have to
band?
get back in line.
I know,
Right. When it'll go like a merry-go-round. It'll just, someone will step off and somebody else
We
will
just
step
put on a
in.
different hat.
Speaking of hat, I like the hat. Bad hair day.
Thank you.
That.
Okay, so this is a funny story. We have funny stories. Okay, so we were out for a friend of mine's birthday. We were up at the Anchor Inn. As 90% humidity. It's like we're a mess, right? So Noisy Neighbors was over at Sneaky Pete's playing, and we're like, there's no way I am going out in public looking at my hair is all nasty and stuff. So we walk into Meyer on the way up on what is that? On Alexis.
Mm-hmm.
First hat I seen, I'm like, oh, this is perfect because I wear hats. That's all. You'll never see me on stage without a hat. And so
Which is unusual for most females.
Yeah.
well
In all reality, it's
well,
not.
listen, okay.
I don't wear hats at all.
See,
I have to,
so do I.
or there's too much
Or there's
glare.
your other alternative.
Well, hats have always been my thing, but it's just one of those. It helps me on stage, keeping the sweat out of my eyes. And
Yeah.
then, you know what? Listen, as a chick in the front of the band, you don't want sweaty hair matted to your face and your makeup melting off your face and stuff. So I wear a hat. Then I don't even have to do my hair for a show. It's,
Brush
it's
it
like
back, put it in a
win-win. Right,
ponytail,
exactly.
maybe,
It's a
and
win-win.
throw the hat on. So.
Exactly.
It's rock and roll.
So exactly.
Now, Matt had made a comment earlier about the friendships and the relationships that are created through music and stuff. We got another relationship, and I'm kind of curious to
Here we
see
go.
and hear how this affects. Steve and Aaron, you guys have been dating for a while now.
A minute.
A little while now.
This time around.
No, it doesn't matter. We'll collectively put it all together. Okay?
It still counts.
Now, from my outside perspective, has that helped, maybe hindered, or kept things normal within the band? There's got to be sometime a little bit of friction at some point, being that you're dating and then you got to transition to a more professional feel.
I don't think
No?
I don't think like say our relationship has affected like the whole band or these guys.
And I don't think our
hope not,
relationship
anyway.
has been affected by our band either.
Yeah.
Okay. Has
No.
it not, but maybe has it made it tighter? The fact that you two know each other really well outside the band.
He talks me down.
Is
I'm
does
a
it
very
help-
emotional person.
Does it help on stage to have that connection that close to where you can not even have to speak and maybe get something accomplished?
I
Like
think
like
so.
you're trying to
I think
convey
a message.
message.
Yeah.
I think we have a good separation between the band and then
Yeah.
our relationship. We don't typically. Our relationship. He'll let me vent. If I'm like frustrated, but it's that's all it is. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Or if I'm, whatever. Or if I'm like, being a pain in the butt or something. He's like, "Well, I think you're overreacting" or whatever. But I think we ground each other. I think we complement
Keep
each other.
that.
So it really hasn't. This is the third band we played in together.
Okay.
And 2 of those we were in a relationship. So I don't really think it's ever really
No,
affected our
I
relationship
don't
or
really think so. I think to me, it's kind of nice that she's the one next to me when we're playing. which kind of keeps me motivated.
Okay.
When I have my bad times.
Because he knows I'll kick his
You see, there you go.
That's
kidding.
what it
You know,
comes
I mean, I have a lot going on in my life anyway, and so sometimes I get frustrated. It's like, man, I'm too tired for this, or man, do I got time for this? Even though I'll never quit because I've tried before, and then it lasts about 3 months, and I can't.
You're right back
I can't-
into it. Yeah.
You know, but so I think it's kind of nice to be on stage with her as opposed to anybody else because it kind of keeps me motivated. I think, well, you know, I don't want to let anybody down, but I really don't want to let her down, and so it kind of
It gives you that edge,
kind of
a
helps
little
me,
bit
helps
more of
give
an
me a
edge.
little bit of a push, you know, when I'm kind
Okay.
of ready to give up sometimes, you know. But
Well, that's good. Now we're going to look at it from another perspective. You guys, Matt and Phil, how do you see it? I mean, we've heard how they perceive it.
I don't think
In
it takes
and
away
out.
from the band at all. Actually, I've been in a band where there was a relationship.
Mhm.
It's bad. It's really
Right.
bad.
Well,
You
again,
that's the
never,
trouble.
ever-
Usually
yeah,
is.
you
That's-
never ever do that.
again, why I'm asking, and yeah, I'm prodding and being personal,
it's
but
an unwritten rule that you never do that.
right.
But in this case, surprisingly,
Surprising.
it has not. I don't think it's been a detraction from the band. And as a drummer, I tune in with the bass player.
Right.
And the bass player is dating the singer, so he's tuned into the singer. So he's on track, and I'm on track with him. And in a way, it actually helps.
Okay, we left somebody out there. What about poor Matt here? No, we just left him out. Who cares?
Matt does his own thing.
He's
That's
over
his
there
own
on his
guy.
own
Hey,
trying
I
to
just
figure out
gotta
what the
make
hell's
him
going
sound
on.
good.
Matt's on track with himself.
I just
He's
gotta
just there
make
to
him
make it
sound
sound
good.
You're there to make him sound good.
I think Aaron's right. I think Steve is like the musical. You know, if she gets frustrated with anything, he can kind of talk her down and explain it musically to her
Okay.
on their off time,
Right.
and I think that really helps.
and that's
Yeah.
able
I
to
really
form
don't
the
see-
bond better
Well,
with the
and that-
band, with
That's
more.
pretty much what we fight
Well,
about when
right.
nobody's around.
And that's the thing, you know, going back to that, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about music theory. You put a song in front of me, and yes, I can sing it. No, that's just not going to work. And this is where my frustration comes in, is because I'm not really knowledgeable in, like, you know, like the different lingos and things like that when it comes to like guitars. Like, it took me about 5-6 years ago before I finally learned what a chord progression was. I had
Oh, boy.
no idea, right? I just knew if I could sing something or not,
Okay.
you know. And so for
And
me,
she can. Turns
and
out.
so if I
Ew.
get frustrated 99% of the time, it's because I don't know how to
Convey what?
articulate what I'm trying to, like, or what's missing, or like something's just not right. But I don't know who it is, or who's doing something that's just doesn't, or, you know, maybe it's just me not hearing something right.
It's
You know?
usually me, but I blame it on Matt.
Matt, that was the wrong chord. It should have been an E7.
So yeah, I mean, but really,
You're supposed to be playing the minor, not the major.
and that's kind of where he comes in too. Like, he knows that is my weak
Right.
spot, you know, is not really know how to articulate something. And so he'll come, listen, that's not, this is all it is, you know, or this is, you know, and he'll explain it for me.
He'll bring it to a level to where you can
Right, or so that they
understand,
know what
so
I'm trying
then
to say.
you
Right.
can
Mhm.
convey it to the rest
Right.
of the band.
Yep.
Now, with that, do you change the key of songs to fit your style? I mean, is that something that you guys are finding that you'll do occasionally? Say a key, it's in the key of A, but you prefer that one maybe in C or in G, or
For the most part, I mean, I think we pretty much play all the album keys for
Yeah,
the most part.
yeah. I think there's probably some we've changed, but
Yeah,
most
not
of them we've
much.
been able to do
As
in
a
the
drummer, I
original
like to
key.
go on record and say, I don't care what key you play.
your key is loud, right?
I don't care.
You don't
Whatever
care.
you want to do. Key.
Well, I realize, you know, it's mostly Matt and Steve that would have to change what they're doing, but so what you do is do you find then songs that are already naturally comfortable to you?
That's
Or
typically
do
what I
you-
lean towards,
Okay.
you know. But these guys know my vocal style so well now after this long of playing.
So
that
they're
when
bringing in
Yeah.
things that you
Right.
may think
Exactly.
basically outside your comfort zone to try to expand.
Well, no, they know the
We try to
songs.
bring in stuff
They bring in
inside the comfort
stuff.
zone.
That
Well,
they,
that's yeah.
Because I
And-
mean,
and
for
we
us,
do stuff outside the comfort zone
Yeah.
also so we can all expand.
Right.
A lot
Alright.
of it's just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Right.
You know.
Well, on a day like today, just
Matt,
about anything's
Phil
going to
fell-
stick.
I was say Phil fell off the
I'm
wall.
stuck
He
on
didn't
the
stick.
I think I'm stuck to the
And now I'm
chair.
playing drums.
Yeah,
That's our drummer.
right. And it's a lot of times, we find bands limit themselves because they feel they're limited. And I'm not seeing that with you guys. I'm just talking to you. Each show you do, you find something else. Maybe you want to do more and you want to take it to that next level.
One of the things that I think is always important is, and depending on what you're going for, we don't want to pigeonhole ourselves into one genre. We don't want to have just one group of people following us. We want to play at a place where there is something for everybody. You know, for the most part, we cover 50s all the way up there now.
Yep.
Some hits from every decade. We do, but not one specific genre. And
And
that's
I think
what
that makes a better show, personally.
yeah, and sometimes you got to tweak the show based on where you're playing, but
yeah.
for the most part, I mean, we've been very well received at every place that we played. I don't think there's been anywhere that we haven't been asked back.
Well, you will be asked back here, and like I said, as we expand the studio, we'll get you playing more live stuff. And any thoughts? Anybody got anything that they want to kind of let your fans and the public know, or you want to
Come out to our show.
Yeah.
come out to? Well,
Yeah,
that's a
no,
given,
you know
Phil.
what? I think without the people that follow us, we got no show.
Absolutely.
I mean, the bars can hire bands, but if people don't
Right.
show up at those bars and make money for those bars, there's no bands.
This is true.
So,
We owe it to them.
right, I mean,
Yep.
what we do is not even for like a self gratification alone. It's to make other people enjoy what we're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so, I mean, the people that follow us, and the new people, I mean, on our pages, or people that promote our shows for us or share our events, and even people like you, that bring us in and let us talk. I mean, that in and of itself. Yeah.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
But no, I mean, yeah. So.
Well, for me, my passion is music. Being a DJ myself for many years, owning my company, CMB Productions, being a musician for many years, I, over the years, have realized there's no outlets other than, like we talked about, you can pay to get put in a paper, you can pay to be put on, a TV ad, but there's nothing that brings it all together, and that's what we're hoping to do
Right.
with something like
And that's
this.
true, because you got certain individual things,
Right.
And like the Blade does a pretty good job of promoting the shows or putting them in. We've been in the Blade a couple times.
Right.
Another band I play with has been in there a few times, and just about everybody we know has been in the Blade,
But
And we
how
got
many
some other-
people buy the Blade anymore, really, and look at that stuff? I mean, in all
Yeah,
reality.
and that's true. And that's
Okay,
true.
and now that it's gone
And-
digital,
And I'm
Yeah.
not promoting the Blade.
no,
but-
right, and I'm not knocking them either.
We-
I'm
that's
not-
a disclaimer.
yeah,
But we were in it the other day, and I bought
Yeah.
the paper. I was in it a few months ago, and I bought the paper.
First one I bought in 5 years.
right. But and then the Blade's gone digital, so it is easy to access. But then people are more apt to go to the pages they want to read,
Right.
and not as you're flipping through,
Yeah,
see those particular ads.
Right, they're like, hey, what's going on in Toledo? Let's go to the entertainment section, the peach section,
Yeah.
and
The crossword.
yeah, the crossword.
The crosswords, yeah. And what I'm hoping to do is, because with this kind of a format, not only can we put it on YouTube, we can put it on any media source. I'm also working on doing a full audio-only podcast where you may not be able to see us, but you're going to hear us. So I'm
Phil
going
would
to get.
prefer that.
Well, that way, if you're in your car, you know it's coming up. You can click on your favorite podcast, and there we are.
That's awesome.
And you're out there. You're out there, and I'm going to try to hit every media form I can within
So you can listen
my
to
knowledge
something
right now.
else.
Yeah. So, Phil, as long as you're standing out there, kind of on your own, why don't you bring yourself in, and we're going to do another song. You guys about ready to
Sure.
do another song and
Why
see
not?
what happens here? And again, ladies and gentlemen, we have here at the CMB Production Studios, IMO, in my opinion. Yeah, I had a belt, so I'm sorry.
Abductions.
Abductions,
You
yeah.
abducted us.
Well, I abducted you guys for the last hour and a half or so here.
He held us hostage in his hot basement.
Yes, at least there is a bar on the other side of the wall.
Yes, he did feed and water, or not feed us, but he did water us.
Yes, we can do that. We can definitely do that. And what's this next one that we're going to be doing here?
So we're gonna do a Linda Ronstadt.
Okay.
When Will I Be Loved?
All right.
I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? I've been put down, I've been pushed round. When will I be loved? When I find a new man that I want for mine, he always breaks my heart in two. Happens every time. I've been lied to, I've been made blue. When will I be loved? When I find a new man that I want for mine, he always breaks my heart in two. Happens every time. I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? When I find a new man that I want for mine, he always breaks my heart in two. Happens every time. I've been cheated, been mistreated. When will I be loved? When will I be loved? When will I be loved?
And there you are, ladies and gentlemen. IMO, in my opinion, with that little Linda Ronstadt.
Yes.
And we were talking about the variety, and that is killer.
Thank
and
you.
we got Phil. Why don't you move in a little bit? And I'm not going to put my picture up there. They don't need to see me. They see me at least 2 or 3 times a
Oh,
week.
there you
There,
go.
Phil's
yeah.
sitting on his cojones there.
He's-
Can't put those on camera.
no,
You
not.
can, but they might not show
Well,
it.
I would definitely have to do an
It's a whole
age
different channel.
restriction. Yes, on its own channel, and I would expect to get paid for that one. But, you know,
As we all would.
We're not getting paid.
not this time, buddy. Not this time.
Exposure.
Yeah,
Getting
that's
paid
what
on
we're trying to
exposure.
do. That is exactly what we're trying to do. Steve, anything you'd like to add to today's little session here?
Not that I can think of.
Thanks for listening.
Think everything's been added already. Yeah, I'm gonna say no because if I start talking, it will be here another hour.
Okay, and I'm okay with that. Phil, what about you, sir? You, got,
I think we covered everything.
you think we covered the bases for your audience? Matt?
Hope to see everybody out at G-Fest next week.
Yeah. next
And well,
week.
of course, we're
Saturday night, Wheeling on the Rocks.
Yes.
Wheeling on the Rocks. And
15
last but not
Lasky Road.
least,
It's a
our
great
front
bar.
lady, Miss Erin. What would you like to add as a final?
I just, you know what? We're out there to entertain people. Come check out our show. You know, you never know what you're gonna like. You know, we might play something you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't
Right.
heard that in forever. One of the things that we try to do is cover some things that not anybody else in town does. You know, so you might hear this song like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in forever. So just, you know, if you want
If you
to
don't like it, stick around for 2 songs.
right,
Right, exactly. There you go.
You know, I mean, there's, you know, just support local music, man.
Okay.
And even if if we're not the band of choice, man, still get out there and check out local bands.
Absolutely.
Now, before we head out, how can they reach out to you? What are the
Facebook.
Facebook and anything?
In my
else?
opinion, band on
Okay.
Facebook.
Yep.
Now, do you have links to where they can email you or anything of that nature, or they can get a hold of you?
Yep, we got
through chat?
my
You've got-
number to book or
Okay.
a messenger to email us. We've got a page. It's just, in my opinion, it's IMO. It's purple. You can't miss it.
You know, if I'd known it was purple, I would have changed your font to purple. I would have. I'm that kind. You know what? Hold on. Watch this. Give me a second here, guys. Being the kind
Go
of
to
guy that
Facebook and
I
put the link to
am,
Facebook on there.
I am working on that. Those are still some of the things that I am trying to.
There you go.
How's that?
That's it.
You can almost see it, but
barely
there you go.
see it.
There's your
That's all right.
purple. How's that, Miss
So yeah,
Aaron?
no, if it's just facebook.com/in my opinion band.
Okay. Well, I do want to thank you all guys for stopping in and hanging out with me here at Glass City Podcast, and hopefully we'll get you back on again, and we'll have a
Great being here.
bigger
so much
room. We're going to have to expand our room. Finding out this is perfect for maybe a one-on-one, but in a full band situation, I've learned something new. Don't bite off more than you can chew. But I'm going to keep doing it anyhow.
Hey,
I
right.
guarantee.
Always bite off.
I'm going to guarantee you, I am going to continue to keep going with this. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you all for stopping in today with IMO, in my opinion. IMO, that's right. And again, you can reach them on Facebook and just come out and see their shows. Another great entertainment group. They're there for you. They're out there for your entertainment. And that's all we're going to have for today, ladies and gentlemen. And I do want to thank you for stopping in and listening and watching. So we're going to head on out of here for right now as soon as I hit the right buttons. Yeah. Like I said, again, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.